Hello. Welcome to the first official episode of the New Metal Podcast. We are your hosts, and I'm Connor.
I'm Zach, excited to be here.
Of course, I can't wait to get into this.
All
So,
right, so
our
let's
first,
now tell the good people who we are, and where we're from.
yeah, of course. So, I'm Connor. I currently go to a small university called the Ohio State University, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio. How about you, Zach?
Like I'm also from the Columbus area, but I'm out in New York, a small public university north of New York City called West Point.
Sweet, sweet. We love to see it. All right. So I think the big thing that I really want to get across in this first video is what are we hoping to do with this podcast? I think the biggest thing that I'm hoping to do, Zach may have a little bit of a slight disagreement here, is that I really want to just get to talk about stuff that we enjoy and hopefully other people enjoy and get to talk about a little bit of news every now and then that's going on through the rock and metal genres. How about you, Zach?
Oh yeah, and of course we got to cover the classics, who some of our favorite bands are, where they're from, some experiences they've had. Because sure, we want to keep on tabs of what's going on now, but we also want to know what's happened before to get us where we are in the genre.
Exactly, exactly. I would agree. And another thing that we're big here against is, against is what I should say is a slightly less hateful word than most people are about to think. We are against cancer, as everyone in the world most likely is. So we've decided that since we want to keep our little podcast family friendly as possible, we've decided that for every host or for every host of ours or every co-host or guest that we invite on, we are going to allow one curse word per episode. If that limit is exceeded for every curse word, someone will be marking down and $1 will be donated to cancer research. Zach, what do you think about this?
Boom. I think that's a perfect idea. Keeping it family friendly, and we're helping a good cause as well if we slip up.
Exactly. I agree.
All right, well, now, enough of the intro. Let's get into the meat and potatoes for today. Sonic Temple, the massive rock fest, biggest one in the world, if you ask me, coming to Columbus, Ohio, every summer before and every summer coming up. And this year, they've got one great lineup. Let's talk about that.
I'd have to agree, Zach. So this year I'm looking forward to, in case if you guys don't know, I'll just give you a little hindsight. The festival is going on at the historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio this year, May 8th through 11th. And as Zach mentioned, some of the big things that at least I'm looking forward to this year, for at least the first day. Let's go over Thursday. What do you think, Zach?
Oh, yeah. Got to start with day one.
Exactly. So, from what I'm seeing on Thursday this year, we have an insane lineup throughout the day. It's people I'm really excited to see. One of those, Killswitch Engage. Now, personally, I've only listened to a couple of their songs, but I've heard really great things from some people, and I'm really excited to see them live.
Yeah, I didn't know who these guys were until one day I walked into chemistry class, and my teacher's playing a song, and I'm like, I had to stop what I was doing and just listen to this stuff. Like the way they were using the guitar and the drums, it just pulled me away from what I was reading. And so I had to ask him, and yeah, he said, this is Killswitch Engage. Looked him up on Spotify, started adding him to my playlists.
Exactly. All right. Another thing I'm really looking forward to on this Thursday is something that's remarkable. I don't know how many people thought this was going to happen, but I'm just super ecstatic that I get to go see them. 3 Days Grace, but not just 3 Days Grace. They are now having Matt Walsh and Adam Gontier at the same show performing at the same time, which I think revolutionary. Bravo to both of them. I'm super excited for this show. What do you think about that, Zach?
No, that's insane. If 3 Days Grace, that was enough already. They had me there. I was there like, no, you know what? It's not enough. And so I'm just blown away that they're doing that. And that's going to be one heck of a show.
Exactly. I would agree.
Something I want to talk about that I don't think will draw most people's attention is a little band down the column called Poppy. And you see, we didn't know who they were. We didn't know who she was until about a year ago. Spring break, we're both off of school. We go to an Avenged Sevenfold concert. They have an opener that we've never heard of, and let's just say we were surprised.
Yeah, and little did I know, ever since that concert, I've been listening to her more and more. And she's recently gotten even more popular with her newer album, Negative Spaces. I listen to it. It's a great album. I really enjoy it. So yeah, she's grown at least since I started listening to her a little over a year ago. She's grown a lot. Not to mention that she was already pretty big at the time. Me and Zach just didn't know who she is, and we didn't even know that she was going to be there. But it was a great experience getting to see her live.
Facts. And now we can't talk about the first day without at least mentioning Korn and Motionless in White. Those guys are going to be great.
I can agree. I'm really excited to get a chance to go see Korn, even though I don't listen to him as much. But it's something you got to go do at least once.
Oh yeah. You're not. I mean, you can't go into the metal genre without at least getting a taste of Korn. They've left. Yeah, they've left a mark that just like you can't ignore on the whole genre.
Exactly. I would have to agree. And before we move on to Friday, I know we've already rambled on a lot about Thursday, but Thursday's lineup is just stacked. I don't know what else to tell you. Some other great bands that are going to be there are going to be Ginger, which I'm excited to see. I've heard good things about them. Bad Omens, which once again didn't really listen to much over the past couple of years, but all of a sudden this past 8 months, I've gotten into their catalog of all their songs. They're great. I can't wait to see them live. All right. And I think that covers our Thursday. Zach, you want to start us off with the Friday lineup?
Well, the number one thing that everyone's going to see on Friday, which is crazy that it's happening Sunday as well. I don't know if this has happened before, where one band is the headline for 2 separate days. But Metallica is coming, and they are ruling this weekend.
I can agree. I'm so excited to see Metallica. I've been a fan of theirs for a long time, and I'm just glad I get to see them. I never thought there was going to be a chance where I get to go see them live. So,
yeah, I mean, if we're talking metal, like new metal, old metal, Metallica has shaped the genre in a way that almost no one else has. And,
exactly.
and they even got metal in their name. Like, it's right there. So
exactly. It's something that just, you can't have metal where you are right now without Metallica.
No.
That everything in this festival, and where I'm about to go next too, everything in this festival came from the music that, at least that I would say, came from at least some point in music history, which Metallica helped headway.
Yeah.
I would also like to say another crazy person that's going to be there. I should say crazy. He's a great guy, at least from what I know. Alice Cooper. I've seen him once before. He's another headway in the rockish, metalish genre. I'm super glad I get to go see him again. His theatrics he does throughout his performance, it's perfection.
Yeah, and we got Rob Zombie there too. Now, he is one crazy performer. When we saw him like 2 years ago, the things that he has on stage, the inflatables being passed around during the show, the lights, like it's crazy. Like he takes his songs, and he's one of the performers who makes it where like the song is just part of the performance.
Exactly, and that might have to be with his art degree and his directing skills. But you know what, Rob Zombie, I'm excited to see him again. And this time, now that I know more White Zombie songs, I'm even more excited. Any other big hits you want to talk about from Friday, Zach?
I say we move right on to Saturday, because there's something we got to talk about, and that's the new Linkin Park.
The new Linkin Park. I'm glad that you mentioned that. I mean, Linkin Park, I think what they're doing is great. With Emily Armstrong, I think she's an amazing singer. I think what they're trying to do is great. And I think from their new album, I really enjoyed it. I thought there was a decent amount of good songs, and I thought that they connected very well and they were able to balance with each other really well. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I think there was a risk that when choosing a new singer, they just choose almost like an impersonator that would just try to do the exact same thing the band has done in the past. Mm-hmm. Just try to like sound the exact same. And that's kind of trying to say that like someone can be replaced. But they tried to find someone who like while honoring the legacy of what the band stands for, they can take it in a new direction as well for their sound. And I think they did really good with it, and are going to make a lot of people happy with their releases in the coming years.
I can agree. I can agree. I think there's a lot of potential with it. And I think from what they've shown us so far, they're only moving upwards as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Some other bands on this list. Another one I want to mention that's more of the middler headliner is of Mice and Men. They're relatively good. I heard them last year. For the first time ever, I thought they were really good live performers. So I'm excited to see them again. Hopefully know some more stuff this year. What else we have to talk about is the Crossfade reunion. Didn't think that was going to happen either, but you know what?
Oh.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to hear some of their songs live, get to experience that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that is big news that I wasn't expecting, but here we have it. Life comes with many surprises.
Yeah, I guess so. Zach, you see any other big mentions you want to talk about on Saturday? Because I have a couple more if you don't.
Oh yeah, we got Trivium. Trivium was great the last time we saw him at Sonic Temple a couple years ago, and they just do a great job with making rock and metal music that you can just jam along to. Like you can be like going to grab dinner, or you can be there at the front of the stage, no matter where you are. You can just like you'll just find your head bobbing along with the beat.
I can agree. I did enjoy Trivium when I saw him. A couple more of the things that I noticed that I'm really excited to see is Escape the Fate. Really excited to see them.
Oh yeah,
I've listened to a decent amount of their songs. I'm really excited to, whether it be from early Escape the Fate or late Escape the Fate. I'm excited to go see some of their songs be performed. Oh, and a couple other big ones that a lot of people know, I would say, would be Devil Wears Prada, Under Oath. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, and then another one which I think is going to be pretty cool to go see is Hoobastank. And Zach, if you don't know who Hoobastank is,
I'm not familiar.
You know at least one of their songs. Excuse my poor thing. I'm not a perfect person.
Oh,
we love Hoobastank, so I'm excited to go see them live. All right, I think we've already covered a decent bit on Saturday. I think we should switch over to Sunday. Zach, you want to lead us off there?
Oh my gosh, well, we got Metallica coming back again for their second day of being a headline band, which is, I think, huge news. Not only did Metallica come and give one show, but they're giving a second show that's going to have no overlap. It's going to be an entirely different show, which just that much content from a band that big, it's just so generous from the members.
I can agree. I'm really excited to go see Metallica, 2 different sets, so that means I'm going to hear even more songs that I know and love. But another big thing, something that a band that I've loved for a while now, which I'm really glad I get to see, Alice in Chains are going to be in Columbus, Ohio. I'm so glad I get to go see them. Willem Duvall, no matter what anybody says, Willem Duvall's a great singer. And can't wait to go see Alice in Chains. Any of their hits would be great. And I'm lost of words because that's how excited I am to go see them.
Yeah, if they don't play Man in the Box or Rooster, that would be a tragedy.
It would be a tragedy, but you know what? I'm just excited I get to go see him. Get to go see him live, even. All right.
Now, I know a lot of people would immediately jump to one of the other headlines, but I would just like to mention Asking Alexandria. They've got some great songs, especially for like when I'm working out, when I'm trying to just bang out another set, some reps. But Asking Alexandria, it's cool that they're going to be there.
I can agree. I'm excited to go see Asking Alexandria. I'm going to make sure I'm at least there for that one. Hopefully they don't set it up with any other times that contradict it. So some other big bands I really want to see are Hollywood Undead. Heard Hollywood Undead is pretty good. Want to go listen to them some more. Gwar, I've heard from a friend. They're really good. Interested to go see them. So I'm going to make sure I'm there with him at the show. And I think my big 2 that everybody, or at least, big 2 that I think everybody knows or is excited for is Ice Nine Kills, aka the horror movie band, the band that makes songs that feel like horror movies. They're bangers.
Oh my gosh.
And then another band I'm excited for, which I've also started listening to a lot more recently, Chevelle. Really excited to go see Chevelle. They were there our first Sonic Temple back in 2023, but at that time, we basically just stayed at the main stage the whole time because we weren't sure what to do. So
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure we were there for Rob Zombie and Kiss. So, as well as another band called Falling in Reverse, of course.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We love
for having priorities.
Exactly. All right. So now that we moved on from the headlines, we're going to give you a little bit of a taste of our experiences that we had while going there. First off is when we first went, we didn't realize there was parking passes you could buy.
Oh
So
Yeah.
Zach, you want to explain to them what happened?
yeah. So I mean, with a concert this huge, with this many bands, it's gonna draw a lot of people, and parking like that needs to be planned super far in advance with like massive lots, a lot of fences, a lot of parking passes. Now we were a little behind the learning curve, let's say, when it comes to this, and so
And
we
what
showed up.
by behind on the learning curve, we mean we found out about 2 hours before we showed up.
Yeah, yeah. So day of, we're like, oh my gosh, we did not plan for parking. We show up to the concert and it's like an insane line to get in the fenced in lot that just stretches on and on for eternity, but that you have to pay an arm and a leg to go into. Luckily though, our hero standing with like a cape and a mask basically at the corner with a big sign saying parking in my yard. And I'm like, yes, there is the answer to our prayers right there delivered right in front of us. And so we
There's
drive
for
through
someone.
like yes, like a maze of back alleys, and boom, we just park on someone's front lawn right off of the road that leads to the interstate, ensuring that we have a fast getaway.
Exactly. Now, would I advise buying a parking pass? Yes. If you have the chance to buy a parking pass, buy the parking pass. Make sure to support Sonic Temple. But if you don't, and you're like us, and you didn't realize, oh shoot, I don't have a parking pass. There's plenty of people around there that'll let you park, and they might charge you a little bit. But you know what? It's worth it for everything you're about to go witness at Sonic Temple this year. It's going to be worth it.
Oh yes, never miss out on the band if you can't find parking, because believe me, someone will let you have parking, and sometimes for a fraction of the cost of the parking pass. But not endorsing that. And
Exactly.
it also just worked out because, like, imagine this: all of the people in this massive lot, hundreds, if not thousands, of cars getting out a one-lane exit. Think of how long you're just sitting in a traffic jam for that, versus just pulling off of someone's front lawn. Boom, you're free right on the interstate.
Exactly. And I think the next part of Sonic Temple, at least that I want to talk about, are their merch stands. Their
Oh my
merch stands,
gosh!
they're huge. The amount of stuff that they
Yes.
have is their selection amazing. Since I've gone there, I've noticed both years that they have some pretty affordable t-shirts of the entire lineup and everything compared to some other concert bands. When most t-shirts could range anywhere from like $40-$50 depending on the band you go see. They have full lineups that cover up Thursday through Sunday. They have a cheaper one which is about $35, which to me that's a pretty good deal if you ask me.
Yeah, at an event like this with all of the band names on it, that's crazy. And just walking up to the merch stand is an experience. It feels like you're going through airport security. They got all this little posts with the lines on them that you have to like
Oh,
weave through
zigzag
back
lanes.
and forth. Yeah, the
Exactly.
zigzag lanes is insane. And then like the merch stand, you're right that it's huge. It just goes on both sides. They got like it takes you like 15 minutes just to decide like, all right, where on the stand should I be looking for what I want to buy?
Exactly. And since 2023, last year, they added a second merch stand right at the opening, which is just for the Sonic Temple specific stuff.
Okay.
But either one you go to, wide selection. So make sure that you're looking at it throughout the line. Last thing you want to do is get up there and then you're making eye contact with the person trying to get you your stuff, and you say, that would not be good.
Yeah, and make sure to go like early in the day, like shortly after you get there, because then there's going to be not as big bands playing, but also not as many crowds. So you're missing less stuff, and you're getting through a faster line than if you waited for later.
Of course, of course. Now, of course, we're not saying that any band is less than that, but if you have the chance, get them while there's no lines. That's great. Now, sure, you're gonna have to carry it the whole day, but make
But
sure to
that's
bring a small clear bag. You can bring those. Bring a small see-through bag. You'll be able to carry it around.
works. And also, it may just so happen that you're able to put it on because like I showed up with a sleeveless shirt. I showed up in a tank top because I knew it was going to be like a hot day with the sun beating down on us. I didn't want to be like sweating a lot. But then the sun set and it started getting chilly, and boy was I glad that I got a long sleeve shirt because I was just able to throw that thing on, and then I was chilling.
Zach was back out there throwing raves. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So make sure you get to the merch stand at a reasonable time. If you do have to go later, do be prepared to wait in a little bit of lines. But you know what? It is what it is. You're there. That's the big thing. You made it.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing I want to talk about is while Sonic Temple is a music festival, it's also an art festival. Last year, especially when I went there, I took in a lot more of the art than I did the first year because I was just excited. That was my first ever concert was Sonic Temple 2023. So I was just excited to be there. And I noticed a lot more different portraits being put up. Like specifically, there was a Dimebag portrait. There was a portrait of Rob Halford, of Judas Priest. There was just some amazing artwork. Not only that, there are stands where you can go in and meet some of the artists that paint and do their artwork there. And it's a great experience. I bought one myself of the band Kiss. I thought it was great. I'm hoping that I get to see some more artwork this year, and I'm hoping to buy something else. Zach, do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, what better way to memorialize an event, seeing an incredible band that you love, than getting a portrait done by a local artist at the concert itself? Like it just seems like you're completing the experience in a whole nother way that most people who go to concerts just don't have the chance. So, and more than just like the art that you can buy there, the art of the festival itself, on all the big signs, all the big T-shirts, Sonic Temple has its symbol, the skull moth. It's like this. Sometimes it's black and white, sometimes it's all these different colors, but it's always a big moth with a skull. And like, I think that's so cool that they picked that symbol for Sonic Temple because, well, just it represents what metal's all about. Some people see the skull moth as death. Some people see it as rebirth, as another chance, as renewal. And all of that is wrapped up in what metal is, where sometimes it feels despairing, but then it gives you the energy and just the invigoration to move on, have that like rebirth part.
I can agree. I think another thing, especially at Sonic Temple, that I want to talk about is a little bit of safety. Like if this is your first time ever going to a concert, if you want to know if you want to crowd surf, that's another big topic I want to talk about. Let's give you a little bit of tips. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing is when you go up into the air, make sure to cross your legs so that way it makes it easier for the person in front of you to grab you and move you on to the next person. Because if they're just hanging around, it might be harder for them to grab you, and there's a bigger chance you might fall or accidentally hit somebody else. Not like just for your own safety and for safety of others, it's best to cross your legs so that way there's nothing accidentally getting dropped or kicking other people.
Oh yes, we had to witness the old-fashioned scientific method, just one repetition after another. And let me tell you, when people crossed their legs, they stayed afloat. The crowd surfing went great. When their legs went apart, chaos. Agent of chaos.
Exactly. So many people I've seen dropped, not because they're intentionally trying to or anybody's intentionally trying to drop people, just because they can't get a grip of other people as the pace is moving. So it just collides. It doesn't end well. Another thing I want to make aware is there's plenty of water there. Make sure to bring a refillable water bottle, preferably clear one. So that way you can drink water. Stay hydrated because it's going to get hot, especially with all those people moshing around. It's going to get very hot. So please make sure to drink water.
Exactly. Well, I think that might about do it for Sonic Temple, greatest rock festival in the land, right in our very own Columbus, Ohio. So now we got to go into a little trivia event that's going to become a normal part of these episodes.
Exactly. As the first part of our conclusion to the episodes, me and Zach decided that we're going to each pick a song. We're not going to tell either of us who it is. And we are going to give them slight hints towards this song and see if they can guess it. And if not, then they get to go listen to it and experience for the first time, which is amazing. And feel free to play along with if you want to while watching this or listening to this podcast. All right, Zach, who wants to go first, me or you?
I think I'll kick it off with a lighter one. I think you should be able to get this one for our first song of the week.
Oh.
So, hint one, this band is going to be at Sonic Temple this year. So that should narrow it down by a lot.
That narrows it down to like 160.
Yeah. Now, for the second clue about the song itself, there is in every chorus the phrase "Time marches on." And for your third and final clue, the album of this song has an electric chair.
Time marches on. Oh, well, I had a feeling it was Metallica. That was my big thing that it came up with. Electric chair definitely gives that away. Now, time marches on. All right. I'm probably wrong here, just because it's been a second since I've listened to this, but I think I'm going to lock in my answer. I think I'm going to have to go with For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's go.
Let's have a winner.
I was about to say Ride the Lightning, and then I got a little bit of a flashback to first time listening to For Whom the Bell Tolls, and then I hear the backing track of Time Marches On, and I was like, wait a second. So, yeah, I was lucky enough with this one. Now, Zach, I'm not going to lie to you. You're probably going to have no clue about this just because I've only ever showed you one of their songs once, but I've become a big fan of this band over the past couple months. All right. So their first hint. Currently, as we're making this podcast, they have 428.3 thousand monthly listeners.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they're under a million.
Yeah. They're still, they consider themselves still a smaller band.
Okay.
All right, and as the lyric for the song, I gave you a longer one in case if you happen to heard it before, it might spark something. Stuck in a dream, and I've passed on, found blank, 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 with nothing left to mourn. You ready for the next hint?
Oh no, I don't know. All right, let's hear it.
It's all right. And this song came out as a single on January 17th, 2025.
Oh wow, we're dealing with a band today.
If you don't have any guess, you can skip it, or if you want to just take a shot in the dark, might as well. Oh, Ozzy Osbourne, shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was gonna say now you're influencing me. All these other bands you're bringing.
All right, let me recite these hints one last time. 328.3 monthly listeners. Stuck in a dream. I've passed on. Found blank, 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 with nothing left to mourn. And their single came out January 17th, 2025.
Yeah, I don't think a band like this is on my radar.
Gotcha. All right. So my song of the week, which I highly recommend to anyone if they haven't listened to it, is called Solace in Silence by Not Enough Space. Which I'm really hoping I get to go see them some point. Not Enough Space, great band. And Solace in Silence, been stuck in my head for the past month. So anyway.
All right. There we go. Well, I think with the conclusion of this game, that wraps it up for today. So I'd just like to say to all our faithful listeners, stay new and keep it metal. We'll see you next time.